When most people see a Washington quarter from the 1970s, they think of everyday pocket change, nothing special. But for coin collectors and treasure hunters, every date and mint mark tells a story. The 197 Washington quarter dollar, though common at first glance, is a coin worth understanding. While most examples are worth only face value, a few rare mint-state pieces and error coins can command hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Let's explore what makes the 1970 quarter an intriguing part of American numismatic history, and what to look for if you're hoping to find a hidden gem in your change. The Washington Quarter Series began in 1932 as a commemorative issue marking the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Sculptor John Flanagan designed the coin, featuring Washington's bust on the obverse and an eagle clutching arrows and olive branches on the reverse. Initially, the quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper, but rising silver prices forced the U.S. Mint to change the metal composition. In 1965, the result was a new copper-nickel-clad coin, with outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel surrounding a pure copper core. By 1972, the Washington quarter had been clad for 7 years, and the Denver Mint played a major role in striking billions of these durable, modern coins. The 1970 Washington quarter. Key details: Mint, Denver D. Mintage, 311,067,732. Composition: copper-nickel-clad outer layers 75% copper, 25% nickel. Core 100% copper. Weight, 5.67 grams. Diameter, 24.3 millimeters. Edge, reeded. Designer, John Flanagan. With over 311 million coins struck at the Denver Mint, the 1970 quarter is not a rare coin in circulation. However, finding one in mint-state condition MS-67 or higher is challenging, and that's where true collector value begins: circulated versus uncirculated value. In circulated condition, a 1970 quarter is generally worth face value 25 cents. Most of these coins have been used for decades, showing wear, scratches, and dull luster. However, uncirculated coins, those that were never used and retain their original mint luster, can be much more valuable. Approximate retail values as of 2024: MS-60, $1 to dollars, MS-63, $5 $10, MS-65, $20 $50, MS-66, $75 $150, MS-67, $500 $1,250 plus rare. The record auction price for a 197 quarter was achieved in 2021, when a stunning MS-67 example certified by PCGS sold for $3,055. That's over 12,000 times its face value. The silver 197 quarter myth. A common internet rumor claims that a 1970 Washington quarter made of silver could be worth hundreds of thousands or even over $1 million. While this makes for viral headlines, the truth is simpler and more interesting. By 1972, the U.S. Mint had stopped using silver in regular quarters for 7 years. The last 90% silver quarters were struck in 1964. Therefore, all regular 1970 quarters are copper-nickel-clad. However, a small number of mint errors have been documented from the early clad years, coins accidentally struck on leftover silver plankets or wrong metal blanks. While no verified 1970 silver quarter has been certified by PCGS or NGC, it's theoretically possible such a coin could exist due to a minting error. If one were discovered and authenticated, it could indeed be worth thousands or more, depending on its uniqueness and condition. Recognized error varieties for the 1970 quarter. The Denver Mint was known for efficiency, but even high-speed production can produce minting errors that excite collectors. Below are some known 197 error types and their approximate values. 1. Off-center strike. When the coin blank is misaligned under the die, part of the design is missing. Minor 5 to 10% off-center, $25 $50, major 30 to 60% off-center, $100 $300. 2. Clipped planchet. A portion of the metal blank is cut off before striking, leaving a curved or straight missing area. Value, $50 $150. 3. Double die obverse DDO. If the die used to strike the coin is doubled, certain elements, such as Liberty or the date, appear twice. Value: $100, $500, depending on clarity. 4. Broadstrike, partial color. Occurs when the retaining color fails during striking, causing the coin to spread outward with a flat edge. Value: $75 to $100. 5. Wrong planchet error. Rare instances occur when a quarter is struck on a planchet meant for another denomination, such as a 5-cent, nickel planchet, or a foreign coin blank. Value: $1,000, $5,000 plus, depending on rarity and verification. How to identify valuable 197 to D quarters. If you want to determine whether your 1970 to D quarter is worth more than face value, here's a simple guide. Check the weight. Normal 1970 to D quarters weigh 5.67 grams. A weight closer to 6.25 grams could indicate a silver or wrong planchet error. Inspect the edge. Regular clad quarters show a copper-colored edge. If your coin's edge appears completely silver with no copper band, have it tested. Use a magnifying glass or microscope to check the lead tearing, especially in God We Trust and Liberty. Evaluate condition. Coins with sharp details, full luster, and no visible wear are the most desirable. Professional grading. If you suspect a rare error or have a flawless coin, send it to PCGS Professional Coin Grading Service or NGC Numismatic Guarantee Company for authentication and grading. The market for modern quarters. Modern U.S. quarters, especially those struck between 1965 and 1990-80, are gaining collector attention. While once overlooked, these coins are now appreciated for their transitional role between silver and statehood designs. Collectors who assemble full-day tan mint mark sets often seek high-grade 1970 to D quarters to complete their collections. Since most circulated examples are heavily worn, mint state coins are becoming harder to find each year. Additionally, as coin roll hunting and error collecting grow in popularity, the demand for exceptional modern quarters continues to rise. Fun fact: 1972 was a year of transition. The 1970 to Washington quarter sits between two fascinating numismatic eras, the early clad years and the nation's upcoming bicentennial celebration in 1976. The 1970 to D quarter still bears the classic eagle reverse, which would be temporarily replaced by Jack A.H.R.'s drummer boy design for years later. This makes the 197 to D a last chapter of sorts for the traditional Washington quarter, before America's 200th birthday brought a new wave of designs. Final thoughts. The 197 to D Washington quarter dollar may not seem extraordinary at first glance, but it represents a vital period in U.S. coinage, when modern minting technology was finding its rhythm after the switch from silver to clad. Most of these coins are worth just a quarter, but pristine uncirculated examples and rare mint errors can be surprisingly valuable. Whether you're searching through coin rolls, examining old change jars, or building a collection, it's worth taking a moment to look closely.